If you are over 50, you put body lotion on every night. The bottle costs $12 at Target. Smells nice. Trusted brand. Done. Then the lawsuit dropped. That bottle is one of the heaviest chemical exposures a woman over 50 takes, applied to 90% of your skin, every night, for decades, with zero pre-market FDA testing required to put it on the shelf. The bottles in your bathroom right now are named in active 2026 lawsuits, FDA filings, and federal court dockets for breast cancer risk, hormone disruption, accelerated menopause symptoms, and reformulations that gave 30-year customers chemical burns the makers still call moisturizing. The brands doing the most damage are the ones your mother trusted, the ones with the leaf on the label, the ones the dermatologist mentioned in 2003 and you have bought on autopilot ever since. By the end of this, 8 bottles come off your shelf, 2 replace them, 1 for $10. And in the last 60 seconds, 3 golden rules that work on every body lotion you pick up after this video, at any drugstore, any price point, for the rest of your life. Stay through the 8 brands. The rules are worth more than the list. Worst. Number 1. Bath & Body Works Body Lotion. 1,900 stores, 1 mall in every state, and a body lotion that scores in the same toxicity bracket as paint thinner. Pull up the Environmental Working Group's Skin Deep database, type in Bath & Body Works, and watch the scented lotions come back flagged moderate hazard, climbing into the high hazard range. The same brackets the EWG uses for industrial solvents you would not let your kid open the can of. You have been buying it for 26 years. It costs $12. It smells like a snickerdoodle. The chemistry does not care. The 2019 class action accused the brand of routing di-2-ethylhexyl phthalate through its fragrance system. DEHP, banned from rubber ducks since 2008, legal in the lotion you applied to your collarbone last night. Phthalates are endocrine disruptors. Chronic exposure has been linked, in peer-reviewed studies, to elevated breast cancer risk and earlier menopausal symptoms in women your age. The snickerdoodle is nudging your hot flashes ahead of schedule, free with purchase. The case stayed in litigation. Bath & Body Works has since phased out DEHP and DBP and reformulated the entire body care line in January 2024 to drop parabens and sulfates, printed on every front label like a peace offering written in marker. What did not get reformulated is the federal loophole that lets them list fragrance as one word and bury everything else underneath it. MOCRA 2022 made them tell the FDA. It did not make them tell you. The reviews tell on the formula faster than the company will. The scent triggers migraines that last all afternoon. The arms tingle within 4 minutes. The cream sours and turns yellow on the shelf before the bottle is empty. A lotion that expires before you finish it is the chemistry filing for divorce. Here is the 30-second fix. Flip the bottle. Find the word fragrance or parfum with nothing in parentheses after it. That word is the trap door. If the brand cannot list what is under it, the brand is hiding what is under it. There is no third option. The perfumers at Bath & Body Works are often genuinely talented. The system around them turned a billion-dollar business into a chemistry experiment with 1,900 storefronts. Speaking of chemistry experiments, the next bottle on your shelf comes from a company that hid asbestos in baby powder for 50 years. They reformulated, they apologized, then they spun off a subsidiary to take the lawsuits. Worst. Number 2. Johnson's Baby Lotion. A baby cries when the lotion goes on. The mother thinks she did the strap wrong. She did not. The bottle is the strap. Johnson's reformulated the baby line to strip out parabens, phthalates, and formaldehyde releases. Good. Then they printed fragrance on the back and called it a day. That single word is allowed, under federal law, to conceal dozens of synthetic compounds, several of which dermatologists name as the leading cause of contact dermatitis in infants under 6 months. The brand removed the headlines. They kept the trap door. The reviews land in one rhythm. The new bottle smells, parents keep saying, like cologne sprayed on a wet diaper. The babies redden under the cream. The 30-year customer who used the bottle on herself her whole adult life opens the new formula, recoils at the scent, and donates the bottle to no one. Some products break trust. This one broke a generation. Then there is the parent, the company holding the bottle of lotion you are about to apply to your child. On December 22, 2025, a Baltimore jury awarded Sherry Kraft over $1.5 billion after finding Johnson & Johnson and Kenvue liable for failing to warn her that talc baby powder contained asbestos. 67,000 lawsuits stacked up behind hers, 3 bankruptcy attempts to cap the payouts. All three got tossed. In 2023, J&J performed surgery on itself. Kenvue inherited the consumer brands, the lotion, the shampoo, the pediatrician recommended sticker. J&J kept the talc litigation. Same products, same shelf, new letterhead on the lawsuit response. It is the cleanest divorce in corporate America. She keeps the children, he keeps the felonies. So when this same company asks you to trust them on the lotion, the Formula 30-year customers are returning, the brand that just cost them $1.5 billion in the aisle they ran for a century, what exactly are you trusting? The 30-second fix. Real baby skin needs 4 ingredients max. Water, a humectant like glycerin, an oil, a non-controversial preservative. If a baby lotion's back label runs 15 ingredients with fragrance hiding in the middle, the bottle is not for skin, it is for marketing. The National Eczema Association seal is a useful filter. They audit individual ingredients, not the bottle as a whole. The babies still scream. Kenvue still owes an explanation it has not delivered. And the bottle next to Johnson's on the drugstore shelf is the same petroleum residue your mechanic uses to keep grease off his hands. It just has a flower printed on the label. Worst, number 3, Vaseline Intensive Care. The lotion in your shower caddy and the motor oil in your husband's garage start the same morning in the same crude oil column 20 feet apart. That is not a metaphor. Petroleum, the foundation of Vaseline Intensive Care, is a hydrocarbon residue scraped off the same distillation column that produces gasoline, diesel, and the paraffin wax in cheap candles. The difference between what your mechanic uses and what you applied to your shins last night is not chemistry, it is packaging. The European Union figured this out. Brussels will not let petroleum into a cosmetic without a full documented refining history proving the batch is non-carcinogenic. The US, where you live, has no such rule. Inadequately refined petroleum can carry polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which the EPA and the World Health Organization both classify as probable human carcinogens. Health and Human Services confirms PAHs can cause cancer through skin contact alone, over time. The FDA approves petroleum as a skin protectant. The FDA does not test the bottle in your hand. Europe demands the receipt. The US takes Unilever's word for it. Now check the EWG Skin Deep scores. Multiple Vaseline Intensive Care formulations land 4 to 7, moderate to high hazard. The Cocoa Radiant variant scores worse than the unscented. The fragrance is not a feature. The fragrance is the hazard the brand charged you extra for. The reviews fall into 2 camps. The defenders love the price and the absorption. The critics describe a chemical sweetness that clings to clothes, a powdery undertone that survives the shower, and one woman 7 bottles deep who finally admitted the lotion feels and smells, applied to skin, like Elmer's glue. She kept buying. That is the entire business model, the 30-second fix. If a body lotion lists petroleum, mineral oil, or paraffinum liquidum in the first 5 ingredients, it is mostly petroleum. That is not automatically dangerous, but it is only safe if the brand can prove the batch was refined to EU standards. Look at the bottle for words like USP grade or a documented refining standard. If the bottle says nothing beyond the brand's own marketing, you are trusting the company. The European shopper does not have to. The petroleum at least admits what it is on the back of the bottle. The next product on your shelf does the opposite, markets itself as natural, while the lawsuit says nearly 20% of the bottle is industrial chemistry wearing a leaf. Worst, number 4, Nivea body lotion, naturally good line. $11 for 99% natural. The lawsuit says it is closer to 85. That missing 15% is the part the front of the bottle sold you, and the part the back of the bottle is too embarrassed to admit. It is a synthetic emulsifier built in a stainless steel reactor in an industrial park outside Hamburg. Nivea is allowed to call it naturally derived because of a paywalled industry accounting trick most shoppers cannot afford to read. The trick has a name, ISO 16128, a non-regulatory standard developed by the International Organization for Standardization and never intended for product marketing. It lets a brand trace a synthetic molecule's lineage back to a plant, even after 3 rounds of industrial chemistry, and slap a leaf on the bottle. The molecule started life as corn. By the time it reaches you, it has been through more reactors than the average chemistry PhD. The leaf stayed on the front the whole time. The leaf cost $1 billion corporation nothing. The translation manual costs you $400. The shopper at CVS is locked out of the math by design. Now flip the bottle. Ingredients are printed in order of concentration. The first plant ingredient on a Nivea Naturally Good lotion lands in slot 9. The first 8 slots in order: water, mineral oil, isohexadecane, glycerin, isopropyl palmitate, petroleum, and a polyethylene glycol surfactant. That avocado on the front label is making cameos behind 2 petroleum byproducts and a lab-built solvent. The reviews tell the rest. The natural subline is stickier in humidity than the $4 conventional Nivea. The scent is dated. Sensitive skin shoppers break out on the premium version their drugstore bottle never irritated. You paid 40% more to react worse. The 30-second fix. Anytime you see X% natural or X% naturally derived on a bottle, ignore the percentage. There is no FDA definition of natural for cosmetics. The number is whatever the brand decided to print. Read the actual ingredient list instead. If a plant ingredient does not appear in the first 5 slots, the marketing on the front of the bottle is a costume. The FDA never defined natural. Nivea noticed. They charged you for the leaf. The greenwashing on the Nivea bottle is at least chemically inert. The next bottle on your shelf got pulled off shelves in 2022 for hosting a bacterium the cosmetics industry has been losing to for 40 years. Worst, number 5. Jergens Ultra Healing. In March 2022, the FDA found a bacterium inside bottles of Jergens Ultra Healing that the cosmetics industry has been losing to for 40 years. Its name is Pluralibacter jergoviae. It carries a molecular pump on its cell wall that actively spits parabens back out before the preservatives can kill it. Industry chemists call it the wipe killer. It causes urinary tract infections that climb into the bloodstream, surgical wound infections that will not close, neonatal ICU outbreaks, and sepsis. None of which is what the woman with eczema thought she was buying when she grabbed the $6 bottle. Cow USA recalled the 3-ounce and 10-ounce bottles on March 11, 2022, then quietly expanded the recall to add lot codes the first disclosure missed. The 7-ounce and 21-ounce sizes were never recalled. Whether those ran on a clean line, the recall notice did not say. There is one more thing the lab did not catch. Pluralibacter has a trick microbiologists call the viable but non-culturable state. The bug goes dormant during routine quality testing, passes the lab clean, then wakes up later, in your shower caddy, and starts multiplying. Cow's lab said the product was sterile. The bug said otherwise. The lab does not get the last word. The shopper does. Before the recall, Jergens Ultra Healing was a drugstore workhorse. Cheap, thick. Recommended once by a dermatologist in a stock photo. After the recall, the bottles came back smelling faintly chemical, breaking out skin that had handled the old formula for decades. The chemistry on paper is the same. The trust is not. Cow told regulators they were improving cleaning and sanitation practices. They did not say which part of the system failed. The fill line, the preservative, or the lab. One of the 3 is still running. The 30-second fix. Any current Jergens Ultra Healing bottle, whose lot code starts with ZU on the crimp at the bottom, is from the recall window. Pour it down the drain. More broadly, any drugstore lotion preserved primarily with parabens is in a 40-year arms race with a bacterium that beat parabens. Look for sodium benzoate plus potassium sorbate or phenoxyethanol with ethylhexyl glycerin. Boring chemistry, reliable chemistry. The next bottle on your shelf is the one your dermatologist mentioned in 2003 and has since been sued 4 separate times for falsely calling itself natural. Worst, number 6. Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion. 4 lawsuits, 4 settlements, 1 leaf still on the front of the bottle. Aveeno has been sued 4 separate times for falsely calling its products natural. Each time the brand paid out. Each time they kept the leaf. In 2021, Johnson & Johnson, Aveeno's owner at the time, recalled the brand's own sunscreens after internal testing found benzene, a carcinogen linked to leukemia. The class action settlement got approved in 2023. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals vacated it in July 2024. The carcinogen was free, the compensation was not. That was the brand at its old reputational peak. Then they reformulated. Aveeno Daily Moisturizing Lotion still sits at $8 under the same beige bottle, naturally soothing oat stamped across the front. The lotion behind that label is not the lotion 30-year customers built loyalty around. The reviews are awake. Skin breaking out on women who never reacted to the old formula. The new scent comes back chemical and off. One shopper ended her review with 5 words. Look on Reddit for complaints. That is what brand collapse sounds like. The Aveeno customer service team responds under every complaint with the same copy-pasted paragraph asking the shopper to call an 866 number, the corporate equivalent of nodding while looking at your phone. And the parent? The same Kenvue we met 2 segments ago, the spin-off that inherited the consumer brands, while J&J kept the talc lawsuits. Since that meeting, Kenvue has lost an Illinois jury verdict for $45 million in the mesothelioma death of Teresa Garcia. Then a Baltimore jury added Kenvue to the $1.5 billion Cherie Kraft verdict. The dermatologist recommended sticker on the front of the bottle is the only thing about Aveeno that has not been reformulated, recalled, vacated, or sued. The 30-second fix. The word natural on a body lotion is a marketing decision, not a chemistry one. The FDA does not regulate the term. Any brand can use it on anything. The actual question is who certified the bottle. EWG verified, made safe, USDA organic. Those are audited claims. Naturally soothing oat is not a claim, it is decoration. The next product on your shelf does the same thing, but escalates it. The marketing language wraps synthetic chemistry in medical terminology, and the lawsuit said the lotion has been doing it for years. Worst, number 7. Eucerin Intensive Repair. A woman applied Eucerin Intensive Repair to the back of her hands. Within 60 seconds, her hands were red, swollen, and burning so badly she was running them under cold tap water. She wrote a 1-star review. She was not the only one. The same scene plays out across review pages. Burning on contact, hives at 3 in the morning, hands hot to the touch the morning after. She thought she was using a moisturizer. She was using a chemical exfoliant. The front of the Eucerin Intensive Repair bottle says, Repair, Natural Moisturizing Factors, and Dermatologist Recommended. The back of the bottle says, required by federal labeling law, that the product contains alpha-hydroxy acid, a chemical that strips the top layer of dead skin and leaves your skin more vulnerable to sunburn for a full week after application. Most shoppers do not register what they bought. They are using a chemical peel that doubles as moisturizer, applied nightly, all over the body, by women who have never been told they were exfoliating. If you have eczema, sensitive skin, freshly shaved legs, a sunburn, a small cut, or any compromised skin barrier, this lotion will burn going on. Eucerin's own back label tells you to discontinue use if irritation occurs. The front sells it as intensive repair. On broken skin, it does the opposite of repair. The original healing lotion in the Eucerin family is worse. It contains methylchloroisothiazolinone and methyl isothiazolinone, 2 preservatives the European Union banned in leave-on products by 2017 because they were causing an epidemic of allergic contact dermatitis. The United States still allows them. A US shopper at CVS picks up the same bottle a European shopper would have to fly home and complain to her parliament about. The bottle does not say, banned in Europe. The bottle says, for external use only. Helpful. The 30-second fix. Read past the front label. Anytime a body lotion lists AHA, alpha-hydroxy acid, lactic acid, or glycolic acid in the active ingredients, you are holding a chemical exfoliant. Useful for some skin, catastrophic for compromised skin. And always, always apply broad-spectrum SPF 30 the next morning. The bottle's sunburn warning is not optional copy. Eucerin betrays everyone who picked it up because the bottle looked like one. The next brand on the list does not pretend to be medical. It pretends to be sustainable. The pretense is even thinner. Worst. Number 8. Love Beauty and Planet. Dove parent company. 90% naturally derived. The lawsuit calls that number a lie. 3 California shoppers sued Unilever, Love Beauty and Planet's parent company, in federal court last spring. Their argument? A reasonable woman reading naturally derived on a body lotion would assume she was not buying synthetic chemistry. The case survived Unilever's motion to dismiss in November 2025. The judge agreed the assumption was reasonable. Unilever is now in court arguing the shopper should have known better. Turn the bottle. Ingredients are listed in order of concentration: water, glycerin, stearic acid, soybean oil, glycol stearate, fragrance, triethanolamine. The shea butter, the reason the front of the bottle exists, sits at slot 15. Sandalwood oil, half of the brand name, lands at slot 16. The leaf is on the front. The plant is at the bottom of the deck. The reviews are the receipt. Sensitive skin shoppers report rashes, itchy red patches, irritation that takes weeks to clear after months of fine use. One shopper bought the brand specifically to avoid synthetic chemistry. Her dermatologist had to put her on an oral antibiotic and a topical cream. 4 weeks to resolve. Unilever's customer service replies to every complaint with the same email address. Standard procedure. How does Unilever get to 90%? The same trick Nivea used. ISO 16128, the $400 paywalled standard that lets a synthetic emulsifier wear a leaf if its great-grandfather was a plant. Here is the line that should make you furious. The 5 allergens listed on the back of the bottle, coumarin, linalool, limonene, citronellol, geraniol, are there only because the European Union requires them on EU bottles. US labeling law does not. Unilever prints them on the US version because the labels run on the same line as the European ones. Then they take Europe's mandatory disclosure and rebrand it as voluntary transparency. The 30-second fix. If a body lotion makes a % naturally derived claim and is not also third-party certified by EWG verified, made safe, or USDA organic, the percentage is calculated by the brand's own accountants. There is no neutral referee. The leaf is the marketing. The seal is the proof. The next 2 bottles on your shelf do not need a leaf. They earned the seal. Here are the best ones. Best. Number 2. Attitude Body Lotion. $12 at Whole Foods. Made in Quebec. EWG verified. After 8 segments of synthetic emulsifiers wearing leaves on the front, here is the question you are entitled to ask. Does any drugstore-priced body lotion in 2026 actually do what the bottle says? The brand is called Attitude. The product is their unscented EWG-verified body lotion, or any Superleaves variant. And EWG verified is not a label the brand bought from a marketing agency. It is the same non-profit whose Skin Deep database put Bath & Body Works in the hazard bracket of industrial solvents. They audited Attitude's full ingredient list, manufacturing process, and supplier chain. They signed. Most natural brands cannot survive that audit. Attitude built the company around it. Here is what it looks like when a brand is not lying. The ingredient list is short enough to read at the Whole Foods checkout. Plant ingredients in the first half. Preservatives are sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate, the same 2 that keep your strawberry jam from spoiling on the kitchen counter. The formaldehyde releaser that nailed Aveeno, the paraben-resistant bacteria food that recalled Jergens, the chemical exfoliant Eucerin marketed as Repair. None of it is in the bottle. The fragrance system that fills 1 word on every other bottle on the shelf is, on this one, broken out by component. What it does on your skin is the boring part. It absorbs. It moisturizes. It does not sting on freshly shaved legs. Does not break out the woman who fled Aveeno after the reformulation. Does not leave the sticky film that ate 40 minutes of your morning at the bathroom counter. The most common review describes a faint scent and the strange sensation of being able to read the back of a body lotion without a chemistry degree. That is the bar in 2026. Putting on a lotion you understand is a novelty. The corporate file is just as quiet. No multinational parent, no talc litigation, no benzene recalls, no spin-off inheriting somebody else's lawsuits. A privately held Quebec company that built a body lotion an EWG scientist could sign their name next to. The 30-second fix. The EWG verified seal is a 3-second filter you can use on any bottle, anywhere, for the rest of your life. Their database is free at ewg.org/skindeep. If a body lotion does not appear in it, the brand has not been audited. If it appears with a green leaf icon, it has. The next safe brand on this list costs less, and the founder walked away from a fashion empire to build it. Best. Number 1. Everyone 3-in-1 Lotion by EO Products. $10. 32 ounces. EWG verified. The family-size body lotion at the Whole Foods checkout, the one you can slather without rationing, costs $10. The $68 Bath & Body Works bottle 2 aisles over scored in the same hazard bracket as industrial paint thinner. One of these is honestly priced. The brand is EO Products. The product is Everyone. Founded in 1995 by Susan Griffin Black, who walked away from a fashion career at Esprit, smelled lavender essential oil in a London apothecary, and started mixing body care in her garage in Potrero Hill. 30 years later, the company runs a zero-waste, solar-powered facility in Marin County, with around 115 employees and a B Corp certification, meaning the brand legally bound itself to put people and environment ahead of profit. Most cosmetics companies would not survive that paperwork. That is the file. Now turn the bottle. Water, glycerin, organic coconut oil, olive-derived emulsifiers, sesame seed oil, vitamin E, an organic herbal blend of aloe, chamomile, calendula, and white tea, phenoxyethanol, the gentlest cosmetic preservative on the market, EWG green rated, recommended by dermatologists for sensitive skin. On the scented versions, the fragrance is named lavender oil, coconut extract, lemon peel oil. Not parfum. Not a one-word loophole. Just plant. What it does on your skin is what every other lotion in this video promised and could not deliver. It absorbs fast. It does not feel oily. It works on the face, the body, the hands, and the feet. And one verified reviewer noted, her puppy licks her hands after she applies it, and the puppy is fine. The bar has been moved. The corporate file matches the bottle. A 1995 garage operation, family-owned and run, with no multinational parent, no talc lawsuits, no spin-off inheriting somebody else's litigation, no federal court date. Just a body lotion an EWG scientist signed. The 30-second fix. EO Products is sold at Target, Whole Foods, Amazon, and eoproducts.com. The unscented Everyone lotion is the safest bet for sensitive skin. The coconut and lemon variant gives you a scented drugstore experience without the chemistry. Either one replaces the bottle on your shelf for $10. That ends the list. 8 bottles to put down, 2 to put in the cart. Now here is what to look for on every bottle you buy after this video ends. The 3 checks that hold up against any brand on any shelf in any drugstore. Before you buy another bottle, run it through the 3 golden rules. The checks the brands hope you skip. The first rule is the paraben list. Flip the bottle and scan the ingredients for methylparaben, propylparaben, or butylparaben. These are endocrine disruptors that mimic estrogen. The European Union restricts them. California Proposition 65 lists them. Your dermatologist should mention them. If any of those 3 names appears, the bottle goes back on the shelf. The second rule is the word fragrance. When it sits alone with nothing in parentheses after it, that word is a legal black box. It can hide dozens of chemical compounds, some linked to allergies, some to hormone disruption, some the company files with the FDA but never has to print on the label you read. MOCRA 2022 gave brands a voluntary chance to name those components. The brands that declined made a decision about what the customer is allowed to know. The third rule is the marketing claim with no seal under it. Dermatologist tested, naturally derived, naturally good, hypoallergenic, gentle. Not one of those phrases has an FDA definition. Any brand can print any of them on any bottle. Unless EWG verified, made safe, or USDA organic is certifying it, the claim was written by the same marketing department being sued in federal court. A $10 bottle at Target earns the EWG verified seal. A $10 bottle. Every brand priced higher that did not bother to earn that certification is telling the customer exactly where she ranks in their priorities, somewhere below the margin they protected by skipping the audit. Every label you read, every bottle you put back on the shelf, that is not paranoia. That is the industry slowly realizing the customer who used to buy on faith is now reading the back of the package. The brands that built their business on her not checking are the brands she is leaving first. Which body lotion brand is in your bathroom right now? Drop the name in the comments. If you want to know whether it passes the 3 golden rules or whether it is time to put it back, subscribe. We pull apart a different shelf every week, and the next investigation hits a category half this audience has already opened a tab to research. The label is a contract. Read it like one.